Good morning. This is Liz Campbell from Yoga Gym, and I'm going to share with y'all this morning one of my favorite practices. It is a chair yoga practice, and what I like about it is that you can practice it anywhere, and you get all the benefits of a regular yoga practice with the use of a chair, and everybody has a chair. It is the greatest yoga prop there is. So the first thing I want you to do is sit nice and tall at the edge of the chair. So I'm not sitting back and leaning against the back of the chair. I'm right here on the edge of the chair. My feet are hip distance apart. I'm sitting up nice and tall. And then just rock back and forth. Feel those sits bones, those little pointy bones. Feel those. And then come back to sitting and make sure your knees are in line with those sits bones, and then your ankles are right underneath the knees, so you have this nice square stance or seat or asana. And then just bring your hands right here to Anjali Mudra, and as you inhale, sweep the arms down and up, and exhale back to the heart center. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And 1 more time, inhale. And exhale. Now bring your hands to this crease where the legs meet the torso, lengthen, and we're just going to do a seated half forward fold. So keep the spine long, the heart center open as you hinge forward, pressing the belly into the thighs, and then press into the feet as you come back up to sitting. Try not to let your head drop, and also try to lead with the heart center, not with the chin. Keep going a few more times like this, hinging forward and lifting up. And 1 more time, hinging forward and lifting up. Now, bring your hands to the heart center. We're going to do full seated forward folds, inhaling the arms down and up. And as you exhale, swan dive forward, releasing. Now let the head, the shoulders drop, and then bring them back to that half forward fold position. Come all the way up and draw the hands down the midline. Inhale, the arms come down and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale as you sweep back up. Exhale, the hands down the midline. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale down the midline. And 1 more time like that. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, bringing your hands down the midline, and just take a few breaths here. Now, you might have noticed that maybe it was difficult for you to breathe as I called the breath. And in a beginning practice, it doesn't matter so much about the breath, except that you simply do not want to hold it. So just make sure you're inhaling and exhaling constantly. And we'll do just a tiny little breath practice. So sitting up nice and tall with your ears over the shoulders. And in yoga, breath practice is called a pranayama practice. It just means like the wind of life, the breath of life. So sitting up tall, the first thing you're going to do is just breathe through the nose and just notice the breath. So just let the mind follow the breath. I breathe in, I breathe out. I breathe in, I breathe out. And then begin to allow the breath to deepen and lengthen, keeping the belly soft. Inhale and exhale. The spine long. Inhale, exhale. The breath entering and exiting through the nose. And try to keep the breath down low in the belly. So rather than letting it rise up here, up in the top of the lungs up here, try to pull it down low into the base of the lungs. I breathe in, I breathe out. The belly will come out as you inhale, and it'll retract as you exhale. And then bring that to a close. And just notice how you feel. If you feel calmer and more relaxed, it's because that breath has stimulated your rest and digest nervous system, and you've started a chemical cascade to help you feel more relaxed. Now, bring this right arm out to the side, and with that same breath, inhale as the arm comes across and over, and exhale down. And then the other side, inhale and exhale. If you need to breathe more quickly, simply move a little more quickly. But ultimately, the objective is to slow the breath, and so slow the movement as you go through the yoga poses. Inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale, bringing that to a close. So now we're going to do a warrior two, a seated warrior two. So open this right knee out to the side and straighten the left leg, and you're still on the very edge of the chair, and keep this left foot flexed like this. So I'm drawing the toes up towards my hip, but I'm reaching out through the heel so the knee is straight. Flexing the foot will protect the knee joint by engaging the muscles, the thigh muscles. Make sure that your right ankle is right underneath the knee, and then lengthen the spine, and then bring your arms out into this nice long warrior two position called Virabhadrasana 2 in Sanskrit. And then turn your head to look towards the right fingers and just breathe here. Warrior two. Notice how much strength is required to hold this pose, even sitting in the chair. And then lower the arms and look to the front, and go ahead and bring your feet in and tap out. And we'll do the other side. So the left knee is bent, the right leg is straight. You're on the edge of the chair, sitting up nice and tall. The arms come out, turning your head to the left. Breathing here. Pay attention to the position of the chin. So you want your ears right over your shoulders, and then it's just a turn of the head towards the left hand. See if you can feel the energy flowing through your body unobstructed, aided by the breath. I breathe in, I breathe out. That right foot is strongly flexed. You're reaching through the knee. And then lower the arms and go ahead and heel toe and just tap your feet out. And now we're going to do a seated Trikonasana or triangle pose. So again, the right knee is bent, the left leg is straight. So you start in that same warrior two of the legs. And this time, take this right hand to the right thigh. You're going to slide it down to the ankle and hinge over and lift back up. So we're going to do this a few times, sliding down and up. And down and up. And then the next time you slide down, stay here and just reach with this right arm. Stack your hips, your shoulders, and float this left arm up and breathe here. Trikonasana. You can turn your head to look up again towards that left hand. And then to come out of it, turn your head back to the right, and just lift up into warrior two. Lower the arms, go ahead and bring the feet in and tap out. And then we'll do it to the other side. So the left knee is bent, the right leg is straight, that foot is strongly flexed. You want to lift and lengthen here. Take your left hand onto your left thigh, and you're going to slide down and up. moving in and out of Trikonasana pose. I'm sorry, this is just the preparation. And then the next time your arm slides down, bring it to the inside, press that left elbow into the right thigh a little bit, lengthen and float the right arm up. And you can turn your head to look up towards the right hand and breathe here. So even if you're used to doing a standing practice and you do this pose standing, you can still learn some things about how to be more deeply in the pose. Doing it in this way, turning your head to the left, press into that left foot, engage the belly and come back up to your warrior two. And then lower the arms and go ahead and bring your feet in and tap out. Now, go ahead and come up to standing. And you can take your chair, if you need it for stability, and just put it to the side of the mat. And we're going to stand in Tadasana, or mountain pose. So you want your feet hip distance apart, meaning my heels are in line with those sits bones. Remember those sits bones that we discovered early in the practice? And you want your feet pointing straight ahead. And then stand up nice and tall, lengthen the spine, feel the ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. And then bring your hands to the fronts of the legs and bend the knees and slide down and up and hinge at the hips and bend the knees, sliding down and up. Just like this. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see me a little bit better. This is how this pose looks. This is a half forward fold done in the style of Vini Yoga, which Gary Kraftsow originated. This is the safest way to bend forward. So, you know, sometimes if I'm at home and my body is feeling creaky and I drop something on the floor, I will slide down, I will pick that thing up, and I will slide back up. Go one more time. Now, go ahead and step your feet out, and you can bring your chair forward like this and step your feet out wide, and we're going to take a warrior two stance. So you're going to turn your right toes out to face the short end of the mat like this, and your left toes face the long end. So I'm just going to move my chair so you can see my feet, press into the feet and lengthen. And then to come into warrior two standing, you're just going to bend this right knee and come back up to standing. And let's just add the arms. Bend the knee, the arms come up, and straighten, and bend, and straighten. Keep going. Pay attention to how it feels for you to be in your body in this way. If you need the chair, you can leave one hand on the chair and simply come in and out this way. And you will eventually, the balance will improve. The next time you come into warrior two, stay here. Now, if you have one hand on the chair, just see if you can float that hand off the chair. If you can't, just bring it back. Breathing here. And then bring the hands back, straighten that right knee, and we're just going to turn our right foot forward and our left leg out, and we're going to do the other side. So you want to, as best you can, these hips, they kind of want to turn this way, but you really want to pull them back so they're parallel to the long end of your yoga mat. And then bend the left knee and back to straighten. And bend and straighten. And I really recommend that you practice yoga barefoot, even if you don't have a mat, if you're on a carpet or a floor. You want to be pressing into the four corners of your feet, relaxing your toes. You want to feel the earth underneath. And then you can add the arms if you want to, bend and straighten. You want this left knee to go right over the ankle, in line with the second toe. And again, pay attention to how it feels to be in your body in this way. And the next time you come into the pose, stay here and breathe. And then straighten the knee, lower the arms, and heel toe, and just step in and just rock from side to side. And then coming back to your mountain pose, your feet right underneath the hips, bend the knees, and we're just gonna slide down and up 3 times, hinging at the hips, keeping the spine long. 2 more times. And then just come back to standing. Take a few breaths. And then find your chair, and we're just gonna do a few minutes of meditation. So at the end of every practice, we do a pose called Shavasana, where you're laying flat on your back on the floor. If you want to do that, you can, but if you want to do it sitting in a chair, you just want to walk your sits bones back to the way back of the chair, and then lengthen the spine, and you can press your upper back into the chair back, but keep your spine long. And I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, and notice your breath. I breathe in, I breathe out, I breathe in, I breathe out. And we'll just be here for a few minutes in silence. And now slowly, mindfully coming out of this practice, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can slowly open your eyes, coming back to the edge of the chair or sitting on the floor if you got onto the floor for this, and just bring your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And just notice how you feel. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.